soldering machine. The system is a two-axis, two-station machine featuring selective fluxing and selective soldering of any product in the range of 5 inches by 8 inches and any amount of nozzles that can be fastened or fashioned within that area. The machine is a computer-controlled unit with precise programming of depth, speed, dwells, as well as temperatures and flow of the solder. This particular machine is set up to a customer's needs for soldering a high mass solder joint of an automotive product. We've specifically positioned the nozzles accordingly to the tooling that we have designed to hold the component. However, the flux and solder nozzle matrix platens are completely exchangeable and can hold up to 100 nozzles on precise locations for mass selective soldering of circuit boards. This particular requirement is for a motor brush assembly for an automotive alternator, where the termination is a high thermal mass requirement and not easily soldered by iron or any other fashion. We have designed a special benchtop loading fixture and a holding fixture which fits into the RPS 300 tool receptacle. The motions of the machine and the proximity of the tool and components within the tool are adjustable but preset, requiring the operator to only exercise the cycle start button. This particular operation, again, requires a high thermal energy transfer to the lead attach as rapidly as possible, with the requirements to leave a significant amount of solder at the joint area as witnessed. The RPS 300 is very flexible in terms of its tooling capabilities, product that can be run on it, and complete programming with more than 50 programs able
Tapio, you've just seen the footage that I shot of the NewTek conveyor station. I'm traveling up our new extrusion here, which now comprises the leg assembly. You'll notice the ESD jack for plugging in an operator's wrist strap, and you'll see the variable width adjust, which on this particular unit is done by a removable crank. As I pan across to the other side of the unit, you'll see that the light switch for the overhead light is conveniently mounted underneath the work surface here. Panning back a little bit further here, you can see the overall look now of the streamlined assembly, and you'll see that the leg is actually an enclosure. Inside that enclosure is where the electronics are. Coming up to the top, you'll see that there's a nice cutout for the operator so they can belly right up to the workstation. This is a ESD laminate top, 10 to the 6th, 10 to the 7th ohms per square static dispositive. Coming in a little bit further, closer here, you'll see the conventional screw and the bronze bearing assembly, which actually allows the conveyor to change width. Across in the back of the unit, you'll see the pillow blocks, which essentially just take off into the extrusion in the back there. And then inside that extrusion is a chain which actually synchronizes the turning of this screw and that screw, which of course keeps this perfectly parallel. This has an upright on the back. You'll notice that it is T-slotted aluminum. It's very rugged. We have a place along this entire length to mount overhead tool supports, bin hangers, shelves. You'll see two conventional tilt shelves on this workstation. You'll also notice that these shelves do pull out, so they can be very, very closely located next to the operator for an ergonomic standpoint. They do not have to reach very, very far to reach the parts that would be on that shelf or in the bins. Notice that the shelf has a larger rear lip, which means that it can be turned around, reversed, and you can actually hang Acker Mills style bins from the back of this shelf. Notice that it does tilt. And notice that we have an infinite area in the vertical here to put multiple bins and allow you to stagger them, again, for ergonomic reasons. Our control panel here is very simple, very self-explanatory. As the demo has progressed, you've seen that the conveyor, as it is unoccupied, has been behaving more like a buffering station, just simply bringing the board into position and then stopping. There's a button on the front of the console here which is marked check, and check is because this is being used as an inspection station. If the operator hits check, you'll notice that what happens is, instead of the board passing through, it actually comes to a stop in front of the operator. This is being triggered by an opto, which is on the front end of the front portion of the conveyor closest to the operator. And as that breaks the beam and triggers, it does stop the conveyor. This is what we call a single zone workstation. Remember too that we can build these in 2-zone and 3-zone systems, so that I could have one board over on this side in queue, one board in front of the operator which is being used, and one board over here which would be waiting. But this particular workstation, because it's narrow, because it's small, is being configured as a single zone system. Now, as an operator was using this as an inspection station, they would actually be looking at the board that came to rest in front of them, and when it was deemed necessary to pass it on to the next station, all they have to do is come over here to the control station and to press the green button, which now releases it. It then takes off into the second opto, which looks for the upstream SNEMA handshaking signal, saying that the adjacent buffer, or manual gate in this case, is waiting for a part, and then it goes ahead and passes on through. I'm going to get into some more of the details of this unit from the back side. I walked around the back here just so you could see how the bench is put together. Again, let me zoom back further so you can actually see where we are. Again, the uprights going up to the overhead lamp. nice streamlined in the back also, and enclosed a modesty panel, so that if you put this line out in the middle of the room, an operator wouldn't mind sitting at that, particularly the ladies. So anyway, there you see it, Tapio sitting there over between the X-axis inverter and the manual gate. I'm just going to sort of walk around the front here like you would if you were at the show, so you could see it from all the angles. But again, you'll see that it is a world-class system and well thought out. And I hope you realize that that T-slot upright bar there allows us to customize this to the requirements of any operator, ergonomically or otherwise. Okay, I thank you very much for this opportunity to give you a quick tour. Apex has been a good show. Too bad you missed it, but this is probably the best way I could show you firsthand what the system looks like and how it operates. And there you have it. Okay.